Hello, folks. Hope you all are doing well. I am James Shad of the Shad Law Firm, located in Columbia, South Carolina. I've been practicing law for the past 21 years, primarily in family law. And I wanted to discuss with you in our third installment of our 7-part series, The Journey to Divorce in South Carolina. As we stated in the last two sessions, divorce can be very difficult. There's some business decisions that you have to make, sometimes on a very quick basis. Sometimes you have time to get prepared for the divorce. So I really wanted to talk about the journey to divorce. And really, this is going to kind of get to the nuts and bolts of things. Some folks have used the term reverse engineering. Some folks have said, well, I use start with the end in mind, and that's what I do when I talk to clients in a consultation. I always ask them, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And what does divorce look like for you at the end? When you are in front of that judge, whether it's by agreement or if we have to go to trial, what is it that you want to tell the judge? Give me that information so that we can see if it's going to be appropriate under our evidence rules, under our rules of civil procedure, so that we can put your best foot forward and advocate strongly for you. And what's the result? What's the outcome that you absolutely want? First and foremost, I know it's a divorce because you have made that decision that you are dissolving your marriage and that you are planning on moving forward. So again, what does that next chapter look like for you? So just very quickly, when it comes to a divorce in South Carolina, there are essentially four ways under a fault grounds to get divorced. Either your spouse has committed adultery, your spouse has committed physical cruelty against you, which essentially means that there has to be a pattern of physical abuse where you were the victim at the hands of your spouse. Habitual drunkenness or habitual drug use, those pretty much go hand in hand. That means that the marriage has devolved into a situation where that person's substance abuse is negatively impacting the marriage, and so you want out. And then also desertion, meaning that your spouse has left you, but they left you for a full year. Now we rarely use that because of the fifth one, which is that you and your spouse has been separated for at least a full year. So it's easy to prove that you have been separated, not living under the same roof. You all have two separate households, and that has been for a continuous calendar year. So we can assist you in getting divorced on those grounds. Now, if you don't have grounds, you really don't have it at that point, you can still separate from your spouse and we can bring in action for an order of separate support and maintenance. Some people call it a legal separation, but essentially it means we're going to split up. We're no longer going to be together, and we want to go ahead and resolve everything other than divorce, whether that's property division, custody, child support, visitation, spousal support. You can address all that in that separation action, and then once you all are separated for a year, then you come back to court and ask for a divorce based on the fact that you've lived separate and apart for that one full year. But again, with the end in mind, what is custody going to look like? What's visitation going to look like? Are you going to receive alimony that'll help support you through this next chapter of your life? Are you going to get the house? Do you all need to sell the house and split the equity that's in there? Or it may just be a debt, and you just decide, let's just go ahead and sell the house because we no longer want to be tagged with this debt. There may be other marital debt that you all may have. There may be tax consequences as a result of splitting retirement or sharing retirement. Just understand, pretty much in a nutshell, the longer the marriage, the greater that it's going to be divided up on a 50-50 basis. Now, there could be a situation where the court may take into consideration fault grounds on behalf of the other spouse in determining equitable division. But just know that pretty much at the end of the day, even if your spouse has done wrong in the marriage, if it, again, with a long marriage, the court is not going to really punish them for that. It's just going to be strictly based on a 50-50 split or a 55-45 split, pretty close to that 50-50 split. And so that's where you are. There's an opportunity also as well if your spouse is going to be paying your child support and you want to secure that flow of money even if they pass away. You can ask the court to require them to get an insurance policy on their life where they make the children the beneficiaries. Why do you want to do that? Because if they end up passing away, you're going to lose child support, so you're going to lose that financial support to support your kids, the kids that you had with the spouse. And so you are ensured that you will have that economic stability to assist you with raising your children. And of course, you can talk to a financial planner about that. But once you have that lump sum of money, now that may assist you in sending them to college or supporting them in their adulthood, in their young adulthood, moving forward. And so these are the things that you need to talk to an experienced attorney about, because you always want to have the end in mind. What are we going to do when we leave that courthouse, and how are you going to feel when you leave the courthouse and you have gotten your divorce resolved? And let's work our way backwards to see how we get to that point. One thing I also wanted to note for you all in South Carolina, we have to do mediation. So that means when the parties have a conflict, they need to resolve their conflict, because of course we hadn't decided everything on, in terms of the divorce. There may be some issues that we have to iron out. Well, the courts require us to go through alternative dispute resolution, or in this case, mediation. And so there are great mediators in South Carolina. In fact, I've gone through the process, and I'm also a certified mediator in family court. And so I can assist folks on that side as well. But when I'm advocating for you, and the other side is also advocating for their client, we can get together with a mediator to see if we can try to resolve things without having to go to trial. And so we'll give a good faith effort to lay everything out. It's all done in a confidential manner. And then if we're able to resolve it, great. Now we can settle, go before the judge, and get the divorce. If we are unable to, that's fine. That's what we have judges for. And so we will then just set it for a trial, continue to work on it, get prepared for the trial, continue to go through what may be discovery, where we find out what the other side has. They'll find out what we have and what we're expecting to present in trial. And then we can go from there. So I hope this has been helpful to you all. I would just ask that if we can assist you, give us a call at 803-771-7460. That's 803-771-7460. Our web address is shadlawsc.com. And you can also email me at james@shadlawfirm.com, and we can speak confidentially about things. But feel free to comment below as well. I love to hear from you all. And just remember, you are not in this alone. And even though you said yes or I do, does not mean that you have to remain in a marriage that has failed. Do yourself a favor and give an experienced attorney a call, and I hope that will be me, James Shad of the Shad Law Firm. Take care.